these, we're taking 2 water samples. One is a gold sample and one is a trace metal sample. They both then go to a laboratory, and so they go off-site. So at the other end, with the, you watch this take a water sample here. So we're actually able to produce water through our cyclone. I understand many of you have already had some kind of background with reverse circulation. We've actually slowed the process down. We're using a smaller diameter pipe. We're using smaller diameter tricones, and then we're taking water samples about every 30 feet as we go down the hole.
This is the shape of the ore body. Went down another 600 feet. Okay, it was 200 feet wide and had 5 million ounces. So 5 million ounces could fit there. Well, how many of those things could fit within these zones? These are our groundwater samples. We haven't used a scorpion here. This is geoprobe. So it's just from this near surface. And we've drawn a red line, lassoed around the number of samples that have high values in gold and groundwater that we think are meaningful. And they're surrounded by blue dots. We don't have any groundwater. And that gold in groundwater initially by itself is of interest, but when you put it in the context of rock types that we see on the range front, we now see the right kind of host rocks, very close to the surface. The area here is covered with gravel, and it looks like it's shallow because we've got similar gravity data. And so the thought is, well, what could this anomaly and this anomaly be indicative of in terms of gold? Well, how big is it? The easiest way is to look at the same, this is a square mile. These are the gold and groundwater samples again. We've contoured them, tried to focus in this area so it's very large.
By putting the pipe on something like a trailer, we can keep the footprint relatively small. So if we were to bring in a rig, one of these large Nevada-style reverse circ rigs, these things weigh on the order of greater than 100,000 pounds. And so in order to bring it into something like this, you'd have to, build a dedicated road and actually, make a far bigger mess. We'll come into this. We've got a small trench in place that we drop our water into. When we're done, we'll clean this up. You've probably driven by some of our sites, and you can hardly tell that we've been there.